questions. Every weekend here on the program, we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate community. We will kick it off today. Return visitors, good friends. Vivian Lehman is here. Hello, Vivian. How are you?
Hello.
John Patton, how are you, buddy?
Justin, good to see you.
So let's talk about it a little bit. Both of you are real estate agent, broker. You know the different areas of Central Florida, Miami too, for that matter, but that's
right.
for another day. You are up in the Ormond Beach area,
yes, sir.
Right? So Volusia County, a lot of people who live in, say, Orlando, Seminole County, really anywhere, think about Volusia County as a place to buy a second home, or I see a lot of people actually moving over to Volusia County. Right. John, how would you describe the real estate market in Volusia these days?
Very tight right now. There's a tremendous demand still, and with the interest rates still hovering in the sixes, there's a lot of interest. Spoke to Dallas about that earlier, and he said that's very true, but it's also true for Central Florida too.
So how would you compare the same house, or same 2,000 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that would be for sale in Orlando versus Volusia County? Is it less expensive, more expensive, same? What do you think?
It just depends on the subdivision, really. I mean, it varies all over Central Florida. People like Volusia County, East Volusia, from the standpoint of it being close to the beach, so that's the big draw for Ormond Beach.
Yeah, and you think about Volusia County is really a good microcosm of how things are different throughout Central Florida. Right. Volusia County has the whole East Coast side with New Smyrna Beach, Ormond Beach, Daytona, of course. And then what I consider that southwest part of Volusia County, which is totally different than the east side with Deltona, DeBerry, and what am I forgetting? Deltona, DeBerry, DeLand. Thank you. So even Volusia County by itself has a lot of different areas. But Vivian, when you look at Central Florida and all the different areas we have, how much different are the price points depending on where you are in Central Florida?
I think because, we are congested in downtown Florida, you have north, south, east, and west that have just expanded, and you have a lot newer subdivisions on the outskirts, and that's where people are moving to. You were talking about communities and beaches and so on. I thought it was funny, the story you told me about somebody that was moving from the north that wanted to be close to this place called Pictona because it's a big pickleball facility. Now, it's in the middle of Holly Hill, which doesn't necessarily have, the greatest neighborhoods around it. But I just thought it was funny that we should be selling a lifestyle, a community, and so on. And that's what we have here in Central Florida.
So the last 2 years, obviously, we've seen the real estate prices explode in all of Florida, really across the nation. And at some point, families, they make a certain amount of money, they can only afford a certain amount of house. How does that, the price point going up, how does that force people out further into the suburbs?
Well, that's where you're going to have more of a value. You might even get more land. You're looking for more land. You're not going to find that downtown Orlando. You're going to find that on the outskirts.
And how important to families is that commute? Because if I think, okay, you're going to go out to the 4 Points area or places weighed on that way, I think, wow, that's one hell of a commute. Is commute really important to your buyers?
Yes, it can be, but I think we've also done a good job with our infrastructure and to help with the traffic patterns.
It brings me to my next point, actually. So I get all the numbers confused with the roads and things. I know 429 is one of them, but maybe there's some other, the whole thing that's going around, 417, 420. How has that helped bring us together as a Central Florida community? Because I can tell you, say Lake County, for instance, is way easier for me to get to now than it was just a couple of years ago. How is that helping and changing our real estate buying habits?
I think the commute factor is the biggest thing. So if somebody says, oh, it takes me, all I have to do is hop on the highway and I can do in the fast lane and I don't have to worry about anything else, then that's helped and they're willing to go outside.
The fast lane, it is kind of nice that you're going to get there at a certain point. And not to go more than a few miles an hour over the speed limit because there will be state troopers on that, right? It's unbelievable. John, you have a couple of properties here, speaking of Volusia County, over in Volusia. And let's start in Ormond Beach. I know a city you know very well. And this is 139 Cherokee. Tell me about this property.
So as you know, I have a company, Cash Home Buyer Florida, in addition to being an agent with Vivian. And I buy houses from people that need a quick cash sale. So Cherokee was that situation. Family needed to move to Tennessee on very quick notice. I made a cash offer. I closed very quickly on the house and spent 2 months renovating it. So The house has been fully renovated. It's got a solar system, a full house solar system on it, 46 panels. And so the bill on that house will go from $17 to $100 a month, which is a tremendous savings. It's got a beautiful in-the-ground pool. We did all the floors, brand new bathroom, stainless steel appliances, has a 2-car garage, AC, and it sits high and dry. So why that's important is because this house, while being near the Tomoka River, is not in a flood zone per se. It sits up elevated off the ground, and it's a concrete block house, so it's built like a tank.
Yeah. So who should call you? Is it someone who does need to make a quick exit to another city, or who normally calls you?
It varies. We've got people. It's a death in the family. It's a probate, divorce, financial problems.
Right.
It's just any of life's situations, we're able to help.
Got it.
So yeah,
and if you need to sell your home, even if it's not in great shape, I've seen John work with a lot of people who watch the show. 407-205-0400. Another one here, Gardenia.
Yeah, Gardenia Drive. This is another house, a concrete block construction. When I renovate these houses, I really love the concrete block constructions. Basically from a storm standpoint, they're built like a tank. This house again was a full renovation and had a 1-year-old roof when we purchased it. It was an elderly gentleman that wanted to move in with his son. He was in his 80s. We were able to get him cashed out of the house. He was very happy. I think we spent about 4 months now renovating. It finishes today.
Wow.
We will have additional photos on the website for folks, but this is a total rehab. We bought it with a 1-year-old roof. We put in brand new windows, bathrooms, kitchen, cabinets, appliances, flooring. It's essentially a brand new house. Now, what's interesting about this is we're going to offer it either as a cash sale or lease option purchase. So if you maybe don't qualify for bank financing, you got a ding on the credit score, your credit ratio is upside down, or maybe you are self-employed and you find it very difficult to qualify for bank financing, I'll work with you.
Oh, that's good. If you'd like to check out these properties this weekend, John will be happy to show them to you. Again, 407-205-0400. All right, Vivi, let's talk about the concrete block for a second. Okay. Obviously, we hear about it in real estate all the time. I'm not sure we've ever fully addressed it on this program. We've done this show, 6 years? Concrete block. Do people care? Do buyers care?
Yes.
Really? Okay. What is the difference?
So, biggest thing, unless you're going, closer to the roof, is termites.
Oh, okay. So is that the big thing, or is it blowing over in a hurricane?
And the structure itself. I mean, obviously blowing over in the hurricane. And what you will find in construction also, after Hurricane Andrew, I guess it was, you have concrete block on the first floor, and then you can put up wood on the second floor. But
so then only the second floor blows away, or what?
No.
But we hope it doesn't blow away.
Okay.
And they restructured how the roof was done too, and that's all part of the process.
So concrete block is the way to go.
Absolutely.
And do you have some buyers who just demand concrete block? I will not buy a house that's not concrete block.
Yes, that is correct.
And you do a lot of work in Seminole County. Are the vast majority of houses not concrete block?
I wouldn't say that's true.
Okay.
No.
Really? I think it's on the coast. It's a great selling feature if you're east of I-95.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What are the other benefits of concrete block other than not blowing away or termites?
I think insulation is a big one. It's an insulation. Of course, your windows. How your windows are sealed are going to be very important. But I would think from an energy standpoint, that's a big one right there. But all in all, it's really the integrity of the structure from the concrete block. It's strong.
But they make these stucco houses look concrete block now, don't they? You have to research it.
You have to, absolutely.
You really need to make sure.
You can always tell if you look at if you inspect the windows, we'll always tell you whether it's a concrete block or if it's we call it a stick house, which is right. Wood frame. Yeah.
John Patton, always a pleasure, buddy.
Thanks
for coming in. Vivian Lehman, always a pleasure. We'll play pickleball soon over at this place if you don't mind.